guys, welcome. Thank you so much for being here for my Best in Beauty for the month of March. So many awesome things to share with you in this video. It's a lot of really like strictly most used stuff. And a lot of times with these videos, you know, when we go month by month and share the favorites, a lot of it is the stuff that I've been using the most. That's a good gauge for me to say like this is a favorite because I've been reaching for it over and over. But then there are those other like really outstanding things that maybe aren't necessarily a daily use type item that still work their way in. Well, pretty much everything I'm sharing in this video is a thing that's just been getting used repeatedly. I've got some really good brushes in this video, and man, as I look at myself on my little camera screen here, my eye look is very dramatic today. And you know, I don't really have an eyeshadow palette that I was planning to share in this video, but I have been enjoying just mattes in general a lot lately, matte eyeshadow looks. The palette that I did use for this look today, and I'm trying to kind of get a feel for it. You know, I'm not quite sure if I love it yet or not. It's the new one from the Balm called Meet Matte Adore, and this is what it looks like. And I'm kind of trying to figure out if maybe the Meet Matte idea has run its course yet or not. They had an original Meet Matte that was a rather small palette, and then the Meet Matte Nude, which I loved. Meet Matrimony was full of like my kind of shades. It had more like a berry plum thing going, and this one I don't know, I'm not sure. I used a lot of the top part for this look, and then another day recently I worked in the blue shade. But anyway, this is so off topic for this favorites video, but I thought somebody might ask like, what's on your eyes? That's what I'm messing with right now, trying to figure out. But first thing favorites wise that I want to talk about is my Shape Tape concealer and a flat foundation brush. If you feel like you've heard this before, I did give this a quick mention on Snapchat, maybe just in a picture, and I really feel like any flat foundation brush will probably work. This one happens to be from Sigma. It says F60, and it's a shorter one, so I think it came from one of those like travel sets from years back. But any kind of flat brush, I feel like it works great with this, especially if you like to use your Shape Tape up under your eye. And by the way, I am light medium in this, and this is a fabulous coverage concealer. For as good coverage as it is, it seems to be very good in terms of the wear. Like, it doesn't look too heavy on my skin, and I don't know, I'll glance at myself later in the day and feel like I don't have this super heavy under eye area, even though a lot of times I'll use this and then maybe go ahead and set it with something even though it doesn't totally need to be set. It just is really good about looking natural. Now, another little tip with this, I don't think you need a lot of it. The temptation is there, and I see it a lot, like if I catch a video or something on Instagram, you know, those little quick makeup videos. This is a huge applicator here. This carries a lot of product. It's a lot bigger than your typical doe foot. I have referred to this before as a buck foot because it's bigger, you know? And so when people go streak with this, I'm always thinking like that's way too much, because this is a pretty potent concealer and it just doesn't take a lot, and this applicator is already holding a lot of product. So just dot it, just a few little dots on your under eye, and then spread it with the flat foundation brush. And something about this style of brush, all you want to look for is that it's a flat brush, you know, about that size, and it'll have this nice taper, pretty much all of them do, down the side. So you can lay it flat and it gets the product so nicely up to that lower lash line. It just seems to spread the product so evenly, packs on really good coverage with the small amount of this that I do use. And I think I might be getting an even more natural effect with the Shape Tape because this is a little bit wider brush than maybe what I was using before, and it just, I don't know, it thins it out, or it just spreads it a little more evenly. And I've gotten feedback from some of you after I posted that little tip, and you tried it and you totally agreed that it was a really good method. So if you haven't tried that out yet, you might think about it with your Shape Tape. Flat foundation brush is totally the way to go. Another brush that I think is really wonderful to have in your collection is this one from Real Techniques, and it's called the Contour Brush, and I believe this came in like a little set with the buffing brush and one other thing. The buffing brush is great too, like for liquid foundations, powder foundations, but this is amazing for cream contour. If you like any kind of cream contouring on your face, this little guy, you know, it fits so well right here in the hollows of the cheek, around the hairline. It's very dense, it's very soft, it's like just a mini egg-shaped brush, and it works so nicely. So I just wanted to point that out because I know cream contouring, a lot of people like to do that, and sometimes certain blender sponges, depending on what you're working with, can be a little bit big for actually getting the best blend on those dark cream contour products, and this is just a really good size. A lot of times I find I work in like small circular motions with this and it blends out the product very nicely. Okay, one more amazing brush I gotta throw out there, and my friend David, who works for Estee Lauder, he tipped me off that there was a new amazing brush out. He's like, you wanna try it? And I'm like, yes, sign me up, I'm gonna order that. And so I ordered it, it came in, it's the Defining Powder Brush. And he said this kind of a brush, look at this crazy shape here. Yeah, it's like a little cup. There you go, you can see it. This is so good for like accentuating the apple of the cheek. That's what he told me. He thought this would be a really good brush for me. And by the way, it is tapered like everywhere. You know, it's tapered down here, the sides, you know, have a nice taper like that. There's no harsh edge to this brush, but I swear it does take this little zone right here and it just cups it with blush. It's so cool. It probably seems like kind of a little gimmicky thing, like do we need to reinvent the blush brush, but I do really like this. I like the way it picks up product from my blushes. I lay it in, I press the bristles down so it's kind of getting in contact with everything. Tap off some excess, especially depending on the blush you're working with, and I don't need to apply anymore, but I'm gonna for you here. And then like this. That's the kind of motion. I do a little sweeping motion there, and it's just, ooh, you just feel like it's practically contouring this part of the cheek with your blush, and it's just exact placement. It's so good. I just wanted to mention that because I'm sure I've got some brush geeks out there who love, you know, weird and little bit different brushes, and this one is so good. And by the way, the blush that I just dipped into with that is Hot Mama from the Balm. This is another most used thing from the month. And I kind of always think of this blush as one of the lighter ones in my collection, like really soft. But you know, I'm kind of realizing it's not so much that way. Like, let's get it just in full-on lighting here, and it does look kind of light because there's a lot of shimmer in this, a lot of glowiness, a very golden vibe throughout this blush, and when it catches the light it does look light, but when it's not, look, you know, it's really looking like kind of this deepened coral. And I can see that on my cheeks as well, because in full-on lighting, you know, it's giving you almost that highlighter effect a little bit. And then you turn and it's like, oh yeah, there is a decent amount of actual color to that blush as well. So this has been in my collection for a while. I love the Balm's powder blushes. I think that's one of the things that they really do best above all. I mean, they do great eyeshadows, but their blushes are just outstanding. And this one is definitely, if you've had it and you haven't reached for it for a while, it's kind of worth a second look. I've always thought it was a pigmented blush, but something that I thought I was getting just this really light effect with. And no, I think there is actually a good amount of color with that. And maybe it's that brush that's showing it off to me a different way. I don't know. It's so cool though. Another thing in my collection that's kind of rediscovered, and what prompted this rediscovery was when I was doing my expensive drugstore makeup video, and I was using that L'Oreal Superstar mascara, excuse me, which is a two-step mascara. So it's got the white end, kind of a primer side, and then the black traditional mascara that you put on top. And I had noticed that the primer was really kind of heavy on my lashes and caused them to sink, kind of caused them to fall, even though I had just curled them. And I thought, you know what primer doesn't make my lashes do that is the Estee Lauder Little Black Primer. Lo and behold, I look in my drawer and I've got one unopened. It was in my drawer as a backup, and you know, I'm in this mode of constantly trying new mascara, and I hadn't used it. I hadn't busted it open. It had been sitting there probably brand new for months. So here it is. I'm back on the train. Little Black Primer is amazing. Like, this is the best lash primer, and the people who need it most are the ones who have curl challenged lashes like me. Lashes that want to sink, that feel pulled down by a lot of mascaras, even though you go to the effort of curling them. The wand just looks like this, and it is black. I love the primer being black. I don't like the obligation of coating every single white lash, you know, after you've applied a white primer. And you'll put this on, and chances are the first time you use it, you'll be like, what? You know, it doesn't look like anything's on there. And then you sweep on your regular mascara, and you're like, oh, okay, coming through loud and clear. I totally get it now. This is like lash hairspray. It locks in the curl, and then I can go on top of it with any, frankly, crappy mascara, and it will still look good. But go on top of it with something you love already, like CoverGirl Supersizer or the Superhero Mascara from IT Cosmetics, and it's like, zoom, huge. So if I'm not wearing lashes, I think this is an essential step. And if I am wearing lashes, it's still been helpful with, like, I'm wearing lashes today and it helps my natural lashes hold that curl and blend up with the false lashes even better. So it's so good. You will find that it's a little bit harder to get off your lashes as you remove your makeup. So if you've got any kind of like cleansing balm or any like eye makeup remover that you really love, I just find I have to go a little step further than my Equate Daily Facial Cleansing Cloth type deal to get this off. I need to give it a little special attention, and mainly that's because I don't like rubbing on my eye area at all. I like it to just go off easily. You just don't want to be too rough with your eyes, so be aware you might need to use a remover or something when you want to take this off. Quick mention to a finishing powder that I think is so good. Makeup Forever has these loose powders, which we know about the HD powders. I feel like Makeup Forever was kind of the pioneer with those white, loose finishing powders. And I mentioned this in my beauty chat video that they seem even finer and silkier than ever before. I was sent, that powder all over again, and I thought, wow, that's even more silky than I remember. And then they have a pressed version. And I feel like, just out of convenience, because sometimes it's easier just to grab for a pressed powder than a loose powder, I'll just sweep into this, any particular brush? I guess the brush I've been using most is this Spotlight Duster. I just get a little bit of that on and just kind of sweep over the nose and sides of the nose, T-zone area when I'm done with my makeup. And I swear it's like a pore eraser. The pores look so much less evident. Any kind of texture on your skin looks a lot less pronounced with that powder over it. It is the finest, lightest, silkiest, just wonderfulness. Like, I'm getting up close on myself here, and I've put that powder on twice, and it still doesn't look, makeup-y. In terms of lip products, the one I'm wearing in this video and the one that has lived in my purse for about the past month or two is this Revlon Ultra HD in the shade HD Dawn. I love this entire line of lip colors, but this one is so good. It's kind of this rosy with a little hint of metallic. Can you see how it's like catching the light, but I'm not wearing any kind of gloss? And I just think these are the best. They have a lot of fragrance to them, which may or may not be a good thing depending on who you are, but I don't notice that really once I'm wearing them. And I think the color is so anytime. There's a reason why this is in my purse, and if I need to slap something on when I'm out on the go, this is the easiest thing to grab. Really not worried about it interfering with any kind of eye look, any kind of cheek color, whatever that I've got on. It just works for anything. Another one that I love in that manner and has been in my little daily makeup tote, where is that? This is the thing that kind of floats around the house with me and has products that I can just grab for and use really quickly. This is the Almay Smart Shade Butter Kiss in Berry Light Medium. And so this is another one that's really easy to reach for, and it's kind of similar to the Revlon, but a little more light, a little more pinky, I would say. But this is super comfortable on the lips as well. Both of them have a really nice smoothness, a little bit of shine to them, especially when this one is freshly applied. It looks quite shiny, but they're just comfortable, easy lip products, I gotta say. One more thing here, I'm really getting into my Buxom lip creams again, and this was kind of prompted by that Ulta sale when I was going through my stuff and realizing how many things I had that I loved that are available through that 21 Days of Beauty. This shade is called Cherry Flip. It's a great go-to summer, creamy, cooling, warm red gloss. I think it's so beautiful on the lips. Like I said, it doesn't have shimmer. It's just a straight up creamy shade. Are these truly plumping? I can see why people might feel that these have some plumping action going on because, the cooling kind of minty tingle is happening, but also there's a thickness to the gloss that really smooths out the look of your lips. So when you're eliminating the look of all the little lines, it does make your lips look fuller. So this is a great product, and this particular shade shade I absolutely love. Now, I mentioned at the start of the video, we're talking most used, stuff that has just been so frequently reached for over the past month. But one thing that is a little bit more of a statement lip color that I can't say I've been wearing every single day, but my goodness, do I absolutely love this shade. And it is from Besame, and it's called Tango Red. It's a really nice warm red. It's mostly red with a little kick of orange in there, and I think it's so beautiful. I also am loving Carmine too from this line, and I'm really considering a whole video just about warm, beautiful red lipsticks. But Tango Red, a few days ago, I thought I lost it, and I went several days. It was like missing. I was about to put up flyers around town like, have you seen this lipstick? But no, I found it. It was just, you know, in my mess. It was hiding behind a little container over here, but it is such a great vibrant shade for this time of year. And again, I may focus in more on that type of lip product in a future video. Before I go, I just want to mention a couple of things that didn't work so well for me here lately. One is from Makeup Revolution. I got this Skin Kiss highlighter in Ice Kiss, and this is an interesting product. It's a huge highlight, okay? And maybe this would be better as a body product. I'm just having that realization, considering how huge it is, and you know, you could stick a big brush in there and dust it on your body. To the touch, it has a nice texture. Between my fingers, it actually feels creamy. But on my skin, this just looks like too much. It looks like a very fake type of highlight. I guess it goes on the skin with quite a bit of thickness, and maybe that's kind of hard to control. So if you just want a sheer wash of this, it's just hard to achieve that. And it seems kind of chunky, which is, it's strange to be saying that. It feels creamy, yet also chunky. Am I making any sense here? I don't know. It's just too thick. It seems a bit too thick to be worn on the face. So my next thing, the way I'm going to try to make this work, is more like on the body. If I ever start showing some more skin, maybe. That time of year is coming, so I'll go for that. Another thing I've been using is this St. Ives Exfoliate and Nourish Coconut Oil Scrub. Been using this in the shower. This is for the face, by the way. So I've been removing my makeup, and then every couple days I'll use some kind of scrub. And so this is basically like little exfoliating bits suspended in this kind of thick oil gel. You start scrubbing, and first off, not enough scrubbies for me. Like the first 2 seconds you feel like you've got scrubbing action, and then it just sort of rubs away. And then you're trying to rinse, and I love using scrubs in the shower because it's like I just put my face up to the shower and it rinses so easily, usually. But with these little scrubby bits being, like I said, suspended in the oily substance, it just does not rinse very easily. The little bits that are still on your skin that aren't very effective at scrubbing but still remain hard to get off your skin, hard to get a good clean rinse of. It just seems like way too much work to get this rinsed off, and then you definitely are going to have this kind of oily, little bit residue type of feel. And I can kind of make that work for me sometimes. Like once I'm out of the shower, I can kind of blend it in. I'll feel like, okay, my skin does feel sort of soft right now, but just don't think you're going to use this and end up with any kind of squeaky clean feeling. I just don't think these two steps go together. If you're going to use a scrub, get a good scrub, get like some Philosophy micro delivery wash or something like that. Really scrub your skin, and then get out of the shower and put on some kind of facial oil if that's what you want, and then you don't have these two competing things in one product. So I think that's all I've got right now, guys. The mostly hits, couple of misses. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you got any video requests, any certain things you'd like to see from me in the coming days, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.